I have a question on scarcity, Darren. I'm hoping you can help us with this particular case. We talked to this company like in person 2 weeks ago. And then next day, the CEO emailed us saying, hey, how can we like get started? And so we emailed them back explaining everything. And we're like, hey, let's do a call. Like we can hash it all over a call. And so he didn't respond to that. He had a follow-up question, which we again replied to. And we were like, hey, let's grab lunch. We're in person. Why not just meet and figure it all out? He again didn't respond to lunch at all and just asked a follow-up question, which we then responded to again. And every time he would ask us a question, we would respond. We would have to send a follow-up email saying, hey, were you able to take a look at the response? What can we do? And their timeline is kind of like, oh, like early next year, or like it seemed to like kind of, it's not concrete yet. I feel like they have a need, they want to implement it. We are willing to take on all the dev work. How can we pepper scarcity here and those offers?
Yeah. So where are you in the stage? So you had a discovery call, just one discovery call?
Yeah. So we actually met them in person and one of their like engineers, and we essentially, at least from as far as we know, we try to solve all of their concerns with like, oh, how much time we have to invest and all that stuff. We haven't had a pricing call yet. They don't know our pricing yet, and we're just unable to get them on a call now.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different ways that you can cut this, right? But I think the goal is definitely to get them on another call. But here's what I would do. I would put together an offer. I would basically say like, look, we put together an offer for you guys that I think is really compelling. It's going to be almost irresistible because we're going to take on 100% of the risk and you guys will have 100% of the upside potential, right? So the offer is such and such. So you basically come up with a price. Typically it's 5 to 10% of ACV, right? That's typically where you're going to fall with a paid POC. It could be a little higher, it could be a little lower, but it's 5 to 10% of ACV. So let's use an arbitrary $500, okay? So for $500, whatever it is, we can guarantee you that we can do this and this. So figure out 2 guarantees that are going to be really important to the prospect, okay? That you guys feel confident that you can deliver on. Over the next, whatever, 30, 60 days, whatever the case that you want to run the pilot. And if we can't deliver on these 2 things, we'll actually refund you the money for the inconvenience, and we'll also allow you to use the platform for free for the remaining 30 days. What I would love to do is I would love to hop on a call with you just to drill down on the criteria that you guys would be looking to validate during the proof of concept, right? And then from there, we could figure out like if it makes sense to move forward on to next steps.
Okay.
That's how you want to do it, right? So there's no way around like not scheduling the next call. Like you have to get them on another call. But the idea is like, what is the bait that you're going to put on the hook, right? To get them to bite, to get them onto the next call. The bait is like that offer. Like, look, we'd be willing to extend you this offer. Here it is. But before we do, we would love for you, we need to hop on a call to understand the criteria that you guys would look to validate on a proof of concept. Okay. Right. And then at that point, if they're a real buyer, they'll say yes, they'll hop on a call. But sometimes they don't. Sometimes deals, guys, will be on the 5-yard line and they won't close. And it'll break your heart, man. Believe me, it breaks your heart. It still breaks my heart, right? And I've been doing this for 20 years. Right. Sales is the boulevard of broken dreams, man. Right. That's why when you close a deal, it feels amazing because of all the work that you have to do in order to get that deal closed. Right. So don't ever fall in love with clients or potential prospective clients, right? Who aren't clients yet, because they'll break your heart every single time. Right. So the idea is like, that's how you want to think about it. So we're going to keep on learning more and more, guys. I'm giving you guys a ton of information, but the last half of the engagement, right? So it's 90 days. The last like month and a half is just refining everything. So a lot of these first, 5 to 6 weeks are going to be a ton of information I'm going to give you, and you guys are going to refine it. But all that information lives in the playbook.